Hey guys, it's Edie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a reading vlog of a very popular and I feel like beloved series. It is the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber, and I feel like this is such a beloved series. A lot of people do like it. I know there's a couple people who do not like it, but I've read the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber and I did really like that, and that kind of leads on to this series. But you don't have to read Caraval first to read this. You can read this first and go back to Caraval, but you might get a few minor things spoiled. Not major plot lines, only little tiny bits spoiled if you read this before Caraval. But I feel like these are just the most beautiful covers. Just look at them, especially this one. Look how pretty they are. And I'm just really excited to dive into this world and get to read more of Stephanie Garber's writing, because Caraval was just so beautifully written. And the way like she describes things is phenomenal. So I'm excited to hopefully see more of that in this. And I am pre-filming this like a couple of days before I start reading this, because I'm currently still reading a book that I'm reading at the moment. And hopefully when I finish that book, I'll be in the middle of like my working week. So I won't really have too much time to be able to sit here and like film this part. So I was like, I'll film it now, then it's done with, because no my luck, if I was to leave it until I start reading these books, I will forget that I haven't done it, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll come to edit and I'm like, there's no intro, no nothing, and I have to film it then. So I'm doing it now, so then it won't be forgotten about. All I know about this, that it follows Evangeline and Jax. And Jax is like, comes up in the Caraval trilogy. That's, you get introduced to his character in there. And like, there's this one line that he says to Donatella, and it absolutely broke my heart. And some of the things that has been said about him in the Caraval trilogy, I'm really intrigued to see how it comes about or what happens in this. So I'm just very excited. I'll start reading this at some point when I'm during my working week, and I will probably just come back to you guys once I'm halfway through Once Upon a Broken Heart, or if I have any major things I want to say about it. That's the plan at the moment. It might change, you never know, but that's what I'm going to do. The fourth day of me reading this, and I've actually finished it, and I didn't update you guys, and I'm really sorry about that. I've been really busy with work the past 4 days, and I haven't really had a chance to sit down and film and talk about this while also reading this, if that makes sense. So basically, if you do not know what this book is about, this book follows Jax and Evangeline. Someone is marrying the love of her life, and she's not too pleased about it. I can't remember how Jack comes upon her, and she makes this deal with him and to try and stop the wedding. Well, she wants to stop it and he makes it stop. So that happens, and the deal she makes with Jax is basically he will get to have her choose 3 kisses. She has to kiss, I think it's 3 different people, I believe, and that's the deal she makes with him, and I believe he chooses who she kisses, I think. I can't really remember, if I'm honest, because I thought this book was reading a bit too young for me, my personal taste, and I did grow to like it a bit more, but I don't love it like a lot of people do love this series. I also feel like parts of the plot I really did enjoy, but then other parts of it I thought were a bit boring and they weren't keeping my interest, and there was times that I did consider DNFing this book and just completely scrapping this reading vlog, but I'm going to try and push through it so you guys can see my review of this full series. Hopefully I can get through it all. I don't know, I have to wait and see. Because Stephanie Garber has got 2 series. She's got the Caraval series and this series, I believe. And people do say you have to read the Caraval series before, and I have read that. And I found her writing really beautiful in there, and it's definitely beautiful as well in this. I don't think it's quite the same feeling to me. It might be because I didn't enjoy the writing in this book as much, but I don't know, I did still think it was quite beautiful. And I really liked the beginning because you got to see Scarlett and Donatella, and I just love the Caraval series and I love just seeing them again. And I thought they like prop up in like other parts. That's the only time you do see them, but they come up in conversations in other parts of this story so far. The last couple of chapters were really like shocking and had quite a lot of twists and shocking moments in them, and I really enjoyed that. I feel like that brought my rating up a bit more than what I was thinking before that moment, because I did feel like it was a bit, I don't know if lackluster is the right word, but not my favourite. And people say you have to read the Caravel series before you read this series. I've read the Caravel series, like I have said, and I've read this one now, and I don't think you have to. It will spoiler probably very, very minor things about the Caravel series, so if you don't mind that, you can read this series first and then go to read the Caravel series. But my honest recommendation would probably to read the Caravel series before this one, because you do get you get a bit of like an introduction to Jax in that, because he does prop up in the Caravel trilogy. So that is everything I've thought of Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't think I said what I rated it. I did end up giving it 3.5 stars, which is not a bad rating, because like I said, the last couple of chapters did bring that up, because I think originally I was going to be giving it, like before those chapters, like a 3 stars, but it brought that up to 3.5. This is the next book, so I'm going to start reading it, and I hopefully will be better at updating you guys, because I've got 2 weeks off work now, so I'm going to probably come back to you once I've got halfway through this book with an update of my thoughts and feelings of this. And the way the first book leaves off, I'm quite not excited to read it, but I want to get into it because I want to find out what happens, because there is a bit of a betrayal at the end of the first one. I'm going to say that all my reading vlogs, I don't really like to do spoilers, because then I feel like people who haven't read the series can't really watch the videos without being spoiled, unless they don't mind that. So I always try to keep my videos like spoiler free of like the major things. I might say a little thing about things here and there, but apart from that, majority of it will be like completely spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about that. It's currently Saturday when I'm filming this clip, and on Monday I'm going up to see my friend for like 2 nights, so I don't know how much updating I'll be able to give you guys like updates, how often, because I might be able to read this today and tomorrow, and then hopefully I'm hoping the third book in this series is on Spotify's audiobooks, so then I can listen to that while I'm driving up there, because it takes about 3 hours if I don't stop, which I will probably stop halfway through driving up there. So that is the plan. Hopefully I can get this done today and tomorrow and then do the rest, but have to wait and see. So I'm now going to crack on with reading this, and like I said, I'll get back to you once I am probably halfway through this book. So it's the next day in the morning, and I am probably 60% of the way through this book. I'm on chapter 7, page 227, and I am liking it more than the first one in this series, but it's still not my favourite. And basically this follows straight after the first book, and Evangeline finds out she has this new like little bit of magic. She can do things with like magic. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, because I don't want to say too much to spoil it. And she's now having to enter a partnership with Jax, and she does not particularly want to do that, but she has to because of the circumstances, to be able to I don't know what the right word is without spoiling this book, but yeah, she's trying to do that. I still feel like the writing in this is a bit more better. Maybe I'm more used to the writing now, but it's still reading a bit young for me. But there was quite a few shocking points in the first like couple of like chapters, and I was going so many times, so I thought it was really good. It's not quite a 4 stars. It might be sitting the same 3.5 as the first book, but I feel like it has the potential to be better, have a higher rating than the first book, because I am enjoying it better, but I don't really know where I'm going with this now anymore. But yeah, those are my thoughts and feelings. So I am now probably just going to come back to you guys once I have finished the book with my final thoughts, my final star rating, and then we'll move on to the next book. Maybe I will move on to it today, maybe it'll be tomorrow, but I don't know. I have to wait and see how quickly I can finish this book, and hopefully it will be today. So I finished it, and all I have to say is, what was that ending? What was it? I was so shocked. I was gobsmacked when I was reading it. I literally finished that not even a minute ago, and my brain just is like, I don't know what it's doing, and I need to pick up the next book and read it now to see what happens, because something happens to Evangeline, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, because like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but I need to know what happens next, how things progress, I guess you could say. That was actually quite good. That was. I did not see that like plot twist at the end coming. I did not think that was going to happen, and I'm intrigued to see what happens next from it. And this book definitely did get better while reading it, but the writing is reading a bit too young for me. I feel like this might be on the younger end of YA compared to like the older end of YA, but it's still really good. I love the storyline of it, but because of it being reading a bit young for me, I am not going to be giving it 4 stars because it didn't quite hit that mark. I'm going to just give it a 3.75. I don't really know what else to say because I can't really say much because spoilers. I feel like the series is getting better as it goes along, but I've heard a lot of people say A Curse of True Love they did not like as much, so I'm kind of a bit nervous about that because I liked these books but I wasn't the biggest fan, and people saying that, well, the biggest fan of these ones didn't like A Curse of True Love as much, so I'm a bit like, am I gonna like it? Am I not? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. So now we're gonna go on to reading A Curse of True Love, and I think I've already said this, but this is, to me, this is the prettiest cover out of the whole series, and I just love like the little baby pink on the back, and I love the stained glass windows and like the sheer like curtain or drapes or whatever you call them on this book, and I think it's really pretty, and I'm kind of scared and nervous to read it because of the things I've heard. This is what we're doing in the reading vlog, so we're just gonna get on with reading this. So I'm now roughly halfway through A Curse of True Love, and it carries on exactly from when the last book leaves off on that big cliffhanger. So you're kind of carrying on from that. The cliffhanger like happened to Evangeline, and she's kind of not 100% figured it out, but she's figured out something, like someone's come back and she didn't know who they were, and she figured out who they were, kind of. That's what I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it, but I am liking it. I don't know if I'm liking it as much as the second book so far because, I don't know, it's just, there hasn't been as many shocking moments so far. And like for the first and second one, this is reading a bit more like younger, a bit more juvenile compared to what I prefer to read. I don't really know roughly where this is sitting, but usually by the third book into a series, I'm more connected to the characters. But this series, for whatever reason, the characters, I'm not too connected, but I'm still quite invested in the plot because it is quite an interesting plot, and I haven't read a fantasy book that has this sort of plot yet, and I do really enjoy that aspect of it, but it's more the characters that I'm not feeling connected to. That's all I really have to say at the moment. I will probably just update you guys once I finish, but I'm going today, I'm going up to see my best friend. I think I did mention this for 2 nights, and I might be able to finish it today because it's about a 3-hour drive without stops, and I'm going to stop for lunch at some point. So I'm going to listen to like audiobook while I'm driving, and I'm going to read a bit while I stop, so I might be able to finish it by then, but I'm not taking my camera with me because I don't really want to carry it around. So the plan is I'm just going to update you guys when I get back because I should be finished with the book by then. If not, I'll tell you, but I don't know. It is currently Monday and I come back Wednesday, but I might not get back till like mid-afternoon on Wednesday because on the way back, well, on the way there and on the way back, past it, you go past the IKEA that I live closest to, and if I was just to go there, I'd have to pay like this toll charge to get to that part of the country, if that makes sense. And I thought I might as well go there while I go past it, because then I don't have to go back again to pay start charge, because I really need a new desk chair, because I don't know why I'm still holding it, but anyway, the desk chair, the wheels have fallen off. Well, most of the wheels are. There's about 1 or 2 wheels still left. I've had this chair for like a year and a half, I think. I got it from Amazon, and it's really comfy, really good. But I think I'm going to get one from IKEA. But I don't want to... I was looking at them online, but I really want to sit on them and try them out before I buy them, because I spend all day sitting here on this chair reading, so it needs to be somewhat comfortable. So that's the plan. I've just went on a little rant. I don't know if you guys were interested in that, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. But I will just update you guys when I get back and once I have finished this book with my thoughts and feelings. And if there is anything major, I might do a little update with the camera on my phone. I might not, I don't know. Depends how I feel. So yeah, that's the plan. So it's actually a couple days later, and I forgot to... Well, I didn't forget, I just never end up filming my final thoughts and feelings of this book and the outro, so that's what I'm going to do now. Because I believe the last clip before this one was Monday the 6th, just before I was going to drive up to my best friend's to spend 2 nights to see her. And I believe I was halfway through the book then. I managed to finish the book by the time before I even got to her place, because it's roughly a 3.5-3 hour drive. And I did stop for about an hour and a half halfway, and I was listening to it on audiobook, so I finished it pretty quickly and I thought it was alright. I like the plot more than the characters. I find that quite interesting, but I still feel like the writing throughout this whole series is a bit too young for me. I think in the last clip I said I didn't know what rating I was going to be or have felt at that time. I've settled on giving this 3.75 because the plot, like I just said, the plot really intrigued me. The characters I wasn't really connected to though, and I feel like if I was that bit more connected to the characters, it would have jumped up to that 4 stars, but because I wasn't quite connected, and this is the 3rd book in the series, usually I'm more connected to them, but maybe it's because it's reading younger and I don't know why. I just didn't connect. So those are my thoughts and feelings of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I'll do a quick overview of what I gave each book. So the first one, Once Upon a Broken Heart, I gave 3.5 stars, I believe. Then The Ballad of Never After, I gave 3.75. And then A Curse for True Love, I ended up giving 3.75 as well. And a lot of people just absolutely love this series, and I don't feel like I'm one of them. I did enjoy it. Thought it was done what it was meant to, but it wasn't anything spectacular. It doesn't particularly stick out too much for me. But once I did start reading, I felt like I didn't want to not stop, because I wanted to find out what happened. And I don't know if I was disappointed by the last book, but I felt like I wanted also a bit more from it, from what we got in it. I don't know. So that is it for this reading vlog. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have read this series, or if you're not, put in the comments below if you have or not. And if you have, put what your thoughts and feelings are, because I'm really intrigued to see what everyone else thinks about it. If you haven't already, do subscribe, because you get to see more reading vlogs, more bookish videos from me. And I'll see you next time. Bye!